Welcome back, everybody. It is 10:59 a.m., October 11th, 2017. All right, I'm going to be doing more of these quick updates throughout the day, but the newest update, guys, Hurricane Nate is now up to 90-mile-an-hour sustained winds, gusts of over 100. So we still have about 12 hours, give or take, until landfall. It is now moving at 26 miles an hour. It's officially the fastest storm this year as far as its path going. And it's projected to go faster. Now, there's good news to this, and then there's some pretty bad news to it. The good news is that it won't spend as much time over the warm water to develop, but we're already at 90 miles an hour. So between now and landfall, we could be looking at anywhere from 105 to 115. We could be pushing Category 3 storm, guys. This is not out of the realm of possibility, and I keep trying to explain that to people. Even though this thing's moving fast, it's actually growing wind speed fast. The pressure is down to 984, which is another drop from the last update. The issue with this storm moving so fast, it may be even faster than 30 miles an hour once it hits land. And the issue with that, guys, is a few things. If you can see here, these rain charts, the orange is 5 to 8 inches in Mobile, Alabama. Montgomery and even parts of Birmingham are projected to get 5 to 8 inches of rain. But if you notice, the yellow colors go all the way up into Charleston, it looks like West Virginia. This is because of how fast the storm's moving. The storm is going to make landfall, and it's not going to break apart as fast as it would if it was going 10, 11, 12 miles an hour. The landfall is not going to affect it as much, so it will keep its shape, and that's why you see this long, thin band going all the way up into West Virginia, almost touching Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania, guys. That's pretty crazy. So again, and also a big risk for this are tornadoes. Now, when hurricanes hit land, they often spin tornadoes on either side of them, usually on the east side. So areas like Atlanta, even Knoxville, need to be aware of this, that we could be producing tornadoes because of the speed that this thing's going to hit land. Now, again, it won't really affect the wind speed again. Again, we're at 90 miles an hour right now. That will rise again before landfall, I'm sure of it. So we're going to be dealing with an average of 100-mile-an-hour hurricane, give or take. So we need to prepare for that. The people that are on the coast, especially in Mississippi, that is almost basically the border of Mississippi and Alabama is where landfall is projected as of right now. But again, guys, even besides the storm surge, which will be during high tide, with this fast motion of 30 miles an hour, possibly plus, is going to push that storm surge in quicker, especially with the high tide. Now, the faster speeds will not allow it to collect as much water to bring up onto the coasts and whatnot, but because of the high tide, that almost makes up for that difference, is what I'm trying to say here. So again, guys, these are our updated rain charts. We need to watch out for major tornadoes being spun out from this thing once it makes landfall. Again, main concern is landfall and where it's going to be. I just wanted to get people prepared for this news. They will probably be hearing about it very shortly. That once this thing makes landfall, because of its speed, it's going to stay together pretty far inland, and then it's going to be able to spin pretty big tornadoes, guys, especially in plain areas where it's flat. You're going to expect to see tornadoes from this thing. I will be making shorter uploads more often. These are our current hurricane warnings. You can see the tropical storm watches are all the way through Atlanta and Rome now. They are moving far inland now. We have hurricane watches in Pensacola, Florida, and then clearly tropical storm warnings all along parts of Mississippi, and most of Alabama is covered in a tropical storm warning as of right now. Really quick, I want to talk about our other disturbance going on in the middle of the Atlantic. We are now up to 70% chance in the next 48 hours that this will form. So chances are this will be Ophelia. If it does become a tropical depression, the next step is tropical storm, and then it will be named Ophelia. Now, as of right now, this isn't projected to really go near the U.S. Excuse me, this may change though, so we got to keep an eye on it. But again, these numbers have jumped up very quickly since yesterday. We're at 70% 48 hours, 70% over 5 days. So chances are this will form into a tropical depression, maybe as early as today while we're watching Nate, guys. So we have a lot to look out for here. That tornado deal is going to be very important. The speed at which Nate is moving, it's going to come up. If it makes landfall here, it's going to do a little bend. And then on the east side especially, it's going to spin off tornadoes, and we need to watch that. They will start talking about this, I'm sure. The Weather Channel are more focused right now on the landfall aspect of this storm and the storm surge. You can see a front flattening out across the southern states right now. That's going to aid actually in the eastern turn that this storm makes once it makes landfall, but that will also aid in slowing it a tad. Maybe even before landfall, this front here may stall this storm out a little bit. But again, it's going to be quicker than most storms. On average, we're looking at 11, 12, 13, 14 miles an hour. This thing's at 26 miles an hour right now. So storm surge, big deal. Spinning off tornadoes is going to be a big deal. And it keeping its shape very far inland as opposed to other storms we've seen that break apart very quickly. So guys, a lot of things to look out for. I'm going to go through these models in the next update. You can see we are getting a lot of deep red colors. The circle area here is getting more defined. Most of the storm strength is on the east side. That may change as it gets closer, guys. It is beginning to form pretty nicely as far as a circle goes. We may see an eye develop, but again, these are the updates right now. The timetable has been pushed forward a little bit. We may be seeing landfall as early as tonight, which is very possible. If it keeps these speeds up, this is what we may be seeing, guys. All right, so those are your warnings for right now. I'm already working on another update. Be aware of this and let people know, if they don't already know, that we are looking at a fast-hitting storm. More than likely will hit landfall at over 100 miles an hour, so we need to be prepared for that, guys. All right, thank you very much. I'll talk to you all very soon.